how do you take, using Kelly criterion, $4,000 and turn it into $1 million?
Okay, so.
Because I don't want clients saying, dude, I'm going to fund my account with $4,000.
Right.
Yeah,
So it doesn't work like that because.
Please, come on.
Say every game's a 10% edge, just to make the numbers easy. And
Does Don know you took $4,000 and turned it into $1
Yeah.
million?
Yeah.
What did he think originally when you told him?
I mean, that's a lot less than they've made.
No, I know, but they didn't start with 4,000.
I think they started with
I
20.
started with 20.
Okay.
and turned
Way
it
back.
into
I mean,
more
this
than a
is
million.
what,
In the
over 20
beginning-
years
yeah,
ago.
in the
but-
beginning, right.
But yeah, okay. So the way we did it was with Kelly. You can choose to bet full Kelly, half Kelly, quarter Kelly, any increment of Kelly.
Which is
you
whatever
want.
the edge is, and then the half, quarter.
Exactly.
Okay.
And most people are scared to bet full Kelly because the swings are.
So you went full
unbelievable.
Kelly.
But we went. Who cares? Let's just do it. I mean, because we weren't trying to live off.
So
of
full
sports.
Kelly is 55% edge, which is a 5% edge.
Yep. We would bet 5% of the $4,000. So we'd have $200 on that game.
75% edge, 25% edge, 25%.
So we were actually sitting there where almost every weekend we had the entire 4,000 in play across all
Well,
the
so
games.
you're basically every client that I talk to on the phone.
Sure.
Yeah.
They bet their whole credit line,
But
not
what-
weekend, day.
What the exception was
I mean,
for us.
baseball or NBA every fucking day.
So what the exception was for us is we had built the model and we had back tested it. But back testing sometimes isn't a true way to do
Correct.
it. You
So
need to paper trade it.
At the
basically.
point when you, well, that's what I asked you
So
about.
the
the sec-
4K was meant to just mess around and paper trade. But we started winning on the money and we
So at
went,
what
wait a
point
second.
did you go, whoa?
I think at about, 60K maybe, we were like, wait a second, this is actually kind of working.
So what was
So-
the time frame from 4K to $1 million?
Well, okay, we did the 4K the summer of
Summer of
McGregor
69.
fight, the main McGregor fight. So 4 years ago, summer.
You look like McGregor.
I was McGregor for Halloween.
You were McGregor for Halloween. You didn't
So-
have to do much, did you?
It was 4 years ago, summer.
You
It
You just
would've
walked
been-
out the fucking door.
Would have been in August.
Now everybody knows what you look like, even though they can't see you.
So yeah, 4 years ago, summer. Would've
I'm
been
sitting
in
here with
August.
McGregor. He took 4,000 and turned it into 1 million. Go ahead, Summer of McGregor.
So that would have been August.
August.
By that winter, December, January-ish, we were somewhere between 50 and 60K. And what we decided to do was tone it down from full Kelly to half Kelly, which is the opposite of what most people think to do to make a lot more
They're
money.
going to press like dogs.
But we wanted to be careful not to blow the money at
You
that
were at
point.
about, what, 60 grand or more?
50 or 60, somewhere right in there. So we brought it down to half Kelly. But what we did was instead of betting like we had 50K, we started betting, pretending like we had 150K. And the rationale for that
Well,
was,
this is your percentage of the wager was higher anyway.
yes. But
Well,
our
so that's
rationale,
kind of being deceitful when you say you went half Kelly.
so,
It sounds like you're scamming yourselves.
well, here's what we did.
Am I wrong?
Dave and I did this. We both had our current jobs going.
Right.
And we had our income coming in. And we said, okay, well, we don't need 50K of our incomes each. So we're going to put that 50K into sports to bring our bankroll up another 100K. But that's going to take 5 months basically until the actual cash is in there.
Or you just slowly drip the sports books.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, but we might as well bet like we have it all now. Because the point of Kelly is to keep you from going broke. And if we, with 50 in, knew we would have 150 in 5 months from then, basically, if we started downswinging quite a bit, we were just replenishing that bankroll anyways. So we just kind of picked it up from there and then just kept going. And then as we added more and more money to it from wins, we just kept upping the bankroll size. So we kind of jump started it ourselves after it started winning by investing 100 in. But so yeah, it's hard to say like, oh, we actually turned this exact 4K into.
Well, you
$1 million.
really did, though. I get what you
Our true investment was $104,000 invested into the business.
And then,
But-
but what was the time frame to get to the million?
3 years?
When I moved to Chicago.
Yeah.
And then when did you start taking redemptions?
Last year. Yeah.
fucked.
Pretty
Yeah.
fast, right?
Well, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
And then when did you stop playing?
actually
when
did
did you
believe
stop
it
playing
at
on
the
the
start.
on the? When did you stop playing on the teams?
What do you mean? Sorry?
The
Oh,
blackjack.
blackjack?
The blackjack. teams.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did
a year
it
or two
full
ago.
time from when I was like 21 to 25, so like 3 years ago.
Oh.
Then I
We
moved-
hadn't been full time in a while because we were doing the currency trading,
Right.
but we would go sometimes to games other people found to help them out,
Got it.
right? But we were never like really full time after college.
It's a lot of work though, right?
Yeah.
Physical,
a
mental.
lot of traveling, a lot of variance.
So
If I fucking
when
hear
we
that
left
word one more time,
trading,
variance.
Every day.
when we left trading, we were like,
Yeah, but when
okay,
you say variance, what you're really saying is black swan, right? I mean, you're
No.
basically.
Not
Well,
not
well,
like
okay,
blackjack.
so-
it's just normal ups and downs of hole carding.
Mm-hmm.
You could lose $100 grand and just be like, oh, fuck. It's not black swan.
yeah, it's gotta be like
Well, so like
normal
when
deviations.
I'm sitting there at a bar smoking a cigar,
Yeah.
all my clients know I like to smoke cigars, and this guy's like, man, I had a fucking 20. This fucking bitch pulled a 21. That cocksucker and slut.
Yeah.
That's, you call that variance? He's so animated. He's
That's
telling you-
single hand variance,
Yeah,
but
like anything
that's
could happen.
that's expected.
I've seen the
well,
most
so
horrible
in
things
his
you
so
can
in
imagine.
his mind, he is not expecting that.
Sure.
In his mind, he's like, I fucking won that.
Sure,
hand.
and to be fair, the probability
So that's what I want
of
to know.
you winning when you have 20 in your hand is pretty damn high.
How high?
But what is it? If you have 20, if you don't know what the dealer has at all,
right,
then
he's not a card counter. He
you
knows
don't know.
nothing.
You don't know. But if the dealer's showing a bust card, let's say,
Right.
like a 6, and you have a 20, your odds of winning are probably
It's high as fuck.
in the upper 90s, 94, 95%.
Okay, so he has a right to be a little pissed.
So he got the 5% of the time that you lose. It sucks. But
But him not being a pro, in his mind, it's like, whew, fixed. I can't even get a break when I have 20.
sure.
Last year,
And he, of course, he was drunk, so it was
we
a
bet
compound.
on Oregon college football, -1. The other team's QB goes out, line moves to -7, and we have it at -1. We're like, we're rich. Halftime, Oregon's up 35-0.
I remember the game.
TCU.
Game
came back.
over.
I remember
turned
the
it
game.
off.
Dude, I
overtime,
remember the game.
Lost.
Just lose the game.
But
That's
And
fucking
our model
black
had,
swan.
if I remember the numbers right, our models said once that the QB was out for TCU and the line moved, our model said our original bet at -1, where the line's now -7, was something like 80% edge or something. It was an unbelievable number, and they
So,
came all the
so
way back.
if I take this strategy and I go from 4,000 to $1 million in 3 years, basically, or 104,000 to $1 million in 3 years.
Sure.
I know it sounds stupid, but again, my brain, the way it works. So I'm going to have $1 million, and I should say that I should have the same percentage return in 3 years.
Well, I think we will have the same.
I'm killing you with this, right?
Yeah.
But
So I think we'll have the same percentage return.
like, why wouldn't I have 10 million or 100 million?
Can't bet it.
I think we'll have the same percentage return until our bankroll hits about 7 or 8 million. Then you have a really hard time getting the money down. You can't get enough down.
In this country.
Yeah,
Well, anywhere. I mean,
sports books just won't take that unless you're a known losing player.
I
that's
mean,
lost a
maybe-
lot over the
maybe
years.
maybe in March Madness and on NFL. But if you try to bet like NBA, they'll just be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like
So,
if we
like,
went in to bet Western Michigan for 150,000, they'd probably tell me to fuck
Or like
off.
an NBA halftime, they'd be like, your account's closed, fuck out.
But NFL, you have liquidity in NBA.
Oh yeah.
NFL sides for sure. March Madness sides
So,
for sure.
so my question is regarding this percentage return, wanting to be professional sports bettors. Aren't you limiting your skills as mathematicians by getting into a market where you're limited by the fact that you're in a market where you're limited by the fact that you're limited? I know it's a dumb question.
Not a dumb
back to
question.
his- back to
so
his-
we were trading
back-
currencies.
So you're not limited.
Currencies, basically no limit. However, well, there's a limit of how much credit you can get. But you can basically bet unlimited. But your edge is not even 1 cent. It's 4 decimal places out. So we were making 0.00001 average transaction fees per trade. So if we did $1 billion of what you would consider wagers in a month, which was a normal number for us to do $1 billion. If we did $1 billion, we were making like $10,000. So
So in order to make that $1 million in 4 years with the same, you need to do so much more volume.
it's a lot easier to make a lot more money on less money, like a much higher percent on less money in sports.
But a lot of people,
Until
have,
you
a
hit
lot
that
of
cap.
a lot of guys have $4,000. The problem is they don't have that discipline of the Kelly.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, because you can't go for like the moonshot. That doesn't work. Like,
Come on, man! I got a
does it
hot
suck-
game tonight. What do you got? What do you
Yeah.
got, Johnny?
Does it suck making only $40 on a Saturday?
Well, you said to me you made 6 units last week, so that means you made now. So you made 6, and we said that in 3 years you took 4,000, called or 104,000 to $1 million. But obviously it hasn't stayed at $1 million, so it's gone up, it's gone down, and it's obvious it could be $1 million. You said it's 1.1 million. It's really now 1.1 million. You said.
Yep.
Last week you made 6 units, which means you made 6,600.
60,000.
I'm sorry, 60,000.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
No worries.
So, and you said that was a shitty week.
yeah.
Now, this is where the clients, if 60,000, oh my God, I don't even make that in a year. Some of these guys, but you're looking
Sure.
at it, and that's why I go back to you have to look at units, not look
Yes.
at money.
Yes,
Everybody
units.
has a different unit
Units.
value.
Right.
Yep.
If a
Absolutely.
guy has a $10,000 bankroll, he made $600.
Absolutely. And we on 4,000 used to be unbelievably pumped that we won $40 on the game, right? Because it didn't.
Well, you were doing full Kelly then.
Right.
So do you ever have weeks where you say, okay, now, and I'm still recording this. I want to make I want to say I've never done a podcast. I was wondering if you guys have any knowledge of it. Maybe I'll make a podcast.
no,
out of
but
this.
we could do one.
Yeah, like get it like submitted.
We could
on
do a
iTunes.
live, like, interview
No, but I
type
mean, like
thing
this.
sometime.
This is kind of like if it's good recording, I might just use this. What I was gonna. Have you ever thought about breaking the capital into separate sub funds, like half a Kelly fund, quarter Kelly fund, full Kelly fund?
No.
Like, hey, now we have 1.1 million. Let's take 100,000 of that 1.1
It
million.
goes super aggressive on
Now go full
100.
Kelly like we did on the 4,000.
You could.
I was just wondering if you ever thought it.
about it.
Never thought about that.
Think about it now.
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
It's just something that, because then you still have the rep, because you're now doing, so what Kelly are you doing now on the 1.1 million?
Half.
Oh, so
Half
you're
Kelly.
still at half, you're not at a quarter.
Nope. Half Kelly's good.
So 55.
A lot of people.
So 55% edge is a 2.5% wager.
Yep.
Boom, got it.
Yeah, and a lot of people say in blackjack that quarter Kelly is the safe amount. But if you actually really read on Kelly criteria on math, the truth of the matter is the times where it gets tricky is when you have correlated events. So if somehow this football game was influenced by another football game or a basketball game or something, you would have to adjust your wagers to account for the fact that they're somehow tied together or correlated. But if you have two fully separate independent games that have nothing to do with each other, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to bet half Kelly. You could even bet full Kelly.
So what about when
the
they say-
danger?
when
The
they-
danger with full Kelly is this. Full Kelly would work is if you bet one game, that game ended, you took your new balance, you made your
Which
next
is what
bet.
I tell you the clients want to do. Let me see how I do in the morning. I'll come back and bet those 3:30 games, Johnny.
Yeah. Full Kelly would work for that if you bet one independent event with two outcomes, and whatever outcome happens, you have your new balance. You bet another independent event with two outcomes with your new bet amount, right? And you keep doing that. Full Kelly eventually optimizes the most amount of money you could make. But if you're laying in a weekend 25 games, full Kelly becomes too aggressive if you have 5 independent events that all lose. Because full Kelly,
Okay, so for instance, they went, the group that I was dealing with before we hooked up, 2 weeks ago they went 11-8, and they made $35,000. And they were doing 1.5 units on the totals, and they were doing 1 unit on the sides. That was their money management system. We're not
Okay.
going to discuss whether it was right or wrong, just is what it is, right?
so yeah, it just depends on what their model does.
Right. So not model, that's what they started the day 1-6. Clients were like flipping. They ended it because,
It's classic.
Done that.
right?
We've done that. We've done that both directions. We've had days where I've woken up, it's been a rough night, been out drinking, get up on a Saturday, look, like, holy shit, we're up like 11 to 1.
Do you feel like shutting it down right there?
No, because they're already in. The bet's already in.
Well, see, that's what I go back to. This is the difference. When you're an advisor and you're advising, you can't make them bet. You can give them the games ahead of time on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Sure.
But I know damn well these guys are holding up.
Yeah.
So what happens is, guys 1 and 6, he bet those 7 early games. And now, I know and you know what's going to happen. They know at night, this motherfucker didn't bet any of the games.
Sure.
He was shell-shocked. He overbet a percentage of his account. So my
But see,
thing
we've
is,
had times where we go
can't you
11
dump
and
out of
1.
the games?
No.
Can't you bet the other side?
You could hedge
crush
out,
juice?
but that'd be a waste of money.
Every game you bet as an edge, so why not just keep going?
Well, and here's the thing: you could be 11 and 1 in the morning, and be like,
Look, this guy went 5 and 14 last week, but he had an edge on every game.
yeah.
No,
See,
you
you
don't
go
win.
11 and 1, and you go, oh my God, what a great day! It's almost impossible to lose today. And you end the day 11-11, or 11-12, or 11-13, whatever. But for every day that happens,
But it's money management anyway.
But for every day that happens, you could have a day where you actually just do 20 wins. Happens. We had a week, just 4 weeks ago, where on NFL, where we lost maybe 6 games in a row or 7 games in a row, and you're like, Jesus, what a bad run. Like, that sucks. Then the following weekend,
but that
we
was
won
Saturday.
we did like 14-2 on college, and then 6-0 on the NFL the next weekend.
No, but the day that you
So-
had the bad weekend on NFL, how was the Saturday before that?
I don't know. It must have been like middle of the road. I usually only remember really large swings of like 6 figures up or down,
Yeah.
Right.
just because they stand out.
No.
But yeah, it's just tough, man, because so the reason you discount it from full Kelly to half Kelly is just to give yourself extra wiggle room.
But as a financial, if you went to see a financial advisor, and you guys are in your late, we'll call it late 20s,
Sure.
and you guys call, you go to invest in your IRA. Your broker's going to say, you guys are, until you're 65, we're going to put you in the most aggressive fund.
Sure,
if your
and
mom's
I think that's what they're doing
And
now.
if your mom's 62, you're going to be, look, we're going to put you in the most boring ass index traded blah, because you're going to be retiring in 3 years. My only concept in my mind was, why not if you now got, and you're advantage player, so you don't use the word luck. If you advantage yourself from 4,000 to 1.1 million, then in my mind I was saying, why don't you just run one aggressive model against a majority of half Kelly? It's just an idea where you say, fuck.
Yeah, just never thought about that. Once we kind of really got going, I don't want to say we went in like too conservative mode, but we thought about capital preservation. Like, okay, we're not interested in losing $1 million.
Could you do that with full Kelly?
No.
Right.
But you could if you ran full Kelly and bet all of college, all of NFL, and all of UFC matches for the weekend on Tuesday. So you've got 40 or 50 bets in.
You have to have money to
in
cover,
advance,
right? To hedge.
and you just have an unbelievably bad run. Could happen, and full Kelly would have made the adjustments as you were losing.
Now, does your
taken your bets
algorithm
down.
you don't have it set for buybacks like some of these groups? Like you said, switching sides on the line.
No,
there?
we don't switch sides.
So you're not in that middle yet position. But that's something you could look at setting at a later date.
Yeah, because at
'Cause I know that this other
at
group
each
is
line, we can run the model at that line and get a probability of a win on both sides. So if it moves from, like this game, minus 19, well, we had a probability to win at minus 19. If it's now 21, it's possible that the team that previously was 55% has gone to 45%.
Okay, so here's a perfect example. Western Michigan was the number 21st team in the country. 12:55 left. They're losing 14-3. There's no info on that game, but at halftime, can you run the model on that score?
Yeah. Yep.
And the reality is, my gut says,
Although the model doesn't take.
and we don't know if that team offensively scored, if there was fumbles, there was interceptions.
not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we have no idea. We haven't watched it. But the model would take the score, the second
Now
half
we
line.
do know this. the public will be hammering the favorite at halftime if that's
Yep.
the score.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of the fact that, hey, that favorite's supposed to bounce.
Yeah, and that line should be a lot softer, right? So if it was 19 for the game, it should be dropping by a lot. Like
At
the
halftime.
relative line, this might only
Right.
be like 6 or 7 or something.
So I'm gonna end this video because I might try to podcast this. Taking 4 million to 1.1 million in 3 years. 4,000 to 1.1 million. So everybody should just open up an account and.
But 4,000.
Wait, now you have 27 outs right now.
Wait, what?
27 outs.
Yep.
Originally, the 4,000 when you ran it up, you would get 2 outs,
One.
1 out. Then you slowly started to start adding. You couldn't do that in one account. No, that wouldn't happen.
Where was our first account? Was it